Welcome to this session on atmospheric stability and plume behavior. So already we have seen four primary cases which is shown here. The first column shows two unstable cases. Upper one is super adiabatic, lower one is neutral. Similarly, the second column stable cases, upper one is subadiabatic, lower one is inversion. Corresponding to these primary cases and some derived cases, the plume behavior differs, or plume behavior is dependent on the stability conditions of atmosphere. We shall see one by one. First one is corresponding to looping plume. Looping plume is a result of unstable super adiabatic atmospheric condition. You can see an image here. This image, the profile or the shape of plume is depicted in this particular photograph. Similarly, on this graph, the leftmost diagram is corresponding to the wind profile. The middle one is the temperature profile, which is also represented in this graph, and the last diagram corresponds to the shape of plume, which is known as looping plume. So looping plume is like this, moves like a looping fashion or spiral manner.
You may watch the rapid intermixing of the plume or the looping, and also notice the trajectory of the plume and how it is hitting the nearby building.
See the property here, the graph ALR is a constant as we had discussed earlier. Here ELR is greater than ALR. So looping plume occurs when ELR is more than ALR. So this causes condition of rapid mixing within the plume. So rapid movement takes place in the plume, inside the plume, so that the plume in presence of light wind will start looping. So this condition corresponds to super adiabatic condition of the atmosphere, and a favorable time for looping plume or this condition is daytime, when the earth surface is heated properly due to sunshine, and a light to moderate wind is also favorable for this condition. So as a result of this daytime, sufficient sunshine and a moderate wind or light to moderate wind is favorable for steep gradient in the ELR. So basically three conditions will decide plume behavior. In the case of a looping plume, it is super adiabatic, where slope of ELR is more than ALR, or super adiabatic is ELR greater than ALR, so that is the condition. Then presence of wind, whether it is light or moderate in the case of looping plume, and the height of stack where the plume is discharged. So these three things decide the plume behavior, and plume behavior will govern the kind of dispersion. Looping plume is a favorable condition for pollutant dispersion. It is favorable, however, it is if the wind is not favorable, that is, if the wind is not favorable, then this looping plume may hit the surrounding buildings down the wind, which may cause discomfort to the people living nearby. So looping plume has both advantage as well as disadvantage. Next case is neutral plume, where the environment condition is almost adiabatic. Here the ELR is almost equal to ALR. So here since environment as well as the plume is almost at the same thermodynamic condition, a very rapid mixing cannot be expected. And since the air parcel or the plume is discharged at a higher temperature, naturally there is a tendency for the plume to move up. So as we see in this particular diagram, as in this diagram, it gradually moves up without much mixing and all. So that is the neutral plume.
This video illustrates a neutral plume which is moving up vertically. This occurs in a roughly adiabatic condition where wind is not prevailing. Light wind also, the plume will move up vertically.
So it is unstable, of course, and the conditions favorable for neutral plume. There are basically three conditions favorable for neutral plume. One is the cloudy atmospheric condition, maybe at day as well as at night, or the neutral plume can be visible at daytime as well as at night time, especially when the condition is cloudy. In cloudy condition, the clouds will block solar radiation at daytime, and at night the terrestrial radiation will be blocked by the clouds. So as a result, the temperature gradient will be almost similar to adiabatic gradient, that is 10 degrees centigrade per kilometer. So this cloudy condition becomes favorable for ELR equal to ALR. That is one of the condition. Second condition is presence of wind at very higher elevation, and wind will be absent near the stack levels. So at higher elevation, presence of wind will cause a draft towards the higher elevation, so the plume vertically will move up. Third condition is day to night transition time. So day to night transition time, we can see that the temperature gradient of the atmosphere is much less aggressive than that at the daytime. So the lapse rate will be almost equal to ALR. So in these three conditions, the neutral plume will be visible. Generally, the wind present at the higher altitude shall be greater than around 32 km per hour. So that is a moderate wind shall be present to favor this condition. And one more thing is to be noted in the trajectory of neutral plume. If the wind is also present, moderate wind is present at the stack level, then the vertical movement will be shifted to a horizontal type of movement, or the plume will be moving horizontally and the shape will be that of a cone. So a neutral plume mainly can have the vertical movement, but at times corresponding to the availability of wind, it may also have a horizontally moving conical plume. Now the neutral plume is favorable for dispersion of pollutants. If it moves upwards, it will be most favorable if heavy or moderate wind is present at the higher altitude. Then dispersion will be taking place at the higher altitude. But that is advantage. Disadvantage of this is if wind at the stack level is present, then the neutral plume, instead of vertically moving, it may move sort of in the horizontal direction in the shape of a cone, and this may be a bit disadvantageous because it will hit the buildings and the level at which human and other flora and fauna reside. So that is a disadvantage of it. Now we shall discuss about a stable atmospheric condition which is sub-adiabatic. So at some point of time, the temperature gradient of the atmosphere reduces and it becomes less steeper than the adiabatic lapse rate. If we verify that in the graph, we can see at the stack level temperature of plume is higher, but as the altitude increases, the two graphs will meet at a point corresponding to common temperature, isothermal case, or above the level of common temperature, the air parcel becomes cooler and the tendency to move up will not be there. Or this means that a stable condition, establishment of a stable condition at that level. So this condition happens along with the presence of strong winds. Maybe the velocity of the wind at such condition will be more than 32 km per hour. So as soon as the plume reaches in a stable condition at this particular elevation, the wind down will carry the plume, or the plume will move down the wind with a small rate of expansion. So as a result, we can see the shape of a cone in the plume behavior. Plume will grow in the shape of a cone, and that is called a coning plume. The condition favoring subadiabatic or coning plume is later in the morning as the air warms up quickly. So that is the atmospheric condition, along with, as I have told earlier, high wind to the tune of above velocity above 32 km per hour. So with these two conditions, we can see cooning plume, and photographs are shown here. We can see in this left photograph, we can see the increase in diameter of the plume, that is forms the shape of a cone as it moves down the wind. Here also it is, in the second photograph also it is shown, the diameter is increasing down the wind direction, and a schematic diagram is shown here, and we can see the diameter in both diagrams. We can see the diameter of the plume increases symmetrically with respect to the stable level of stability or level of common temperature. Cooning plume is somewhat good for plume dispersion or pollutant dispersion. Dispersion will be effectively taking place only with higher wind velocity. Now we shall discuss the fourth primary condition. This is also a stable condition known as inversion, where the slope of environment lapse rate is negative. That is, the Earth's surface is cooler, and as we go up in the altitude, the temperature of the surrounding air increases. ALR is constant as usual. So this stable condition, we can see in this stable condition or in this inversion condition, at a given level, the temperature of both plume as well as surrounding air reaches the same value, or there is no difference in temperature of plume and environment. So a stability is achieved here, as in the case of subadiabatic condition. But here there is a small difference in both subadiabatic as well as in inversion. The air parcel of the plume above is cooler and the surrounding air is hotter, but in inversion the surrounding air lapse rate is just reverse, or the surrounding air quickly heats up and there is a strong suppression of the ALR to move up. So the stability is stronger than subadiabatic condition. So the plume will experience a strong suppression against moving up. So the air parcel will be strongly stable here, and also we can see this strong condition enforced by negative lapse rate of environment will force the air parcel from even expansion also. So it will be strongly suppressed by the environment, and this condition is also, we will see a slight or moderate wind velocity. So due to that, the air parcel without appreciable expansion will move downwind direction. So this is called a fanning plume, or this downwind direction, this will be moving as a very thin layer like this. It will move down the windward direction. There are two types of inversions. One is radiation inversion, another is subsidence inversion. Radiation inversion takes place with the presence of snowfall, or due to snowfall on Earth's surface will be cooler, and as the sunshine occurs, the temperature above, or with respect to elevation, the temperature will be increasing. So having a negative lapse rate, or ELR becomes negative due to snowfall, which is called radiation inversion. Next is subsidence inversion. This is due to a low pressure near the ground level. So we know that low pressure means lesser temperature in the environment, or otherwise a high pressure at a higher altitude. So this means high temperature at a higher altitude as compared to the low temperature near the ground level. So these are the two conditions for subsidence inversion. So we have seen conditions of inversion, radiation inversion and subsidence inversion. So due to these conditions, a fanning plume will result, and we can see in a photograph is also given here. So this occurs in early morning time, and we can see that subadiabatic condition is also stable, that occurs later in the morning. So early morning condition is favorable for negative lapse rate, and at this time if the plume is discharged at this time, it will result in a fanning plume in presence of a light or moderate wind. So as far as the plume or pollutant dispersion, fanning plume is not a favorable condition because this will have a very less dispersion rate due to very less mixing activity inside the plume, and also as we can see in the photograph or in this diagram, this plume will carry the pollutants to a very far away distances. One more important thing to be noted is that fanning plume will occur when the stack height is almost at the common temperature level or the level of inversion. So these two has to be very close. The stack discharge level and common temperature shall be very close. Now we shall see what happens if this discharge level, stack or discharge levels are different from the common temperature level. So that we will see in the next session, where we will discuss the conditions of mixed atmospheric conditions. So far we have discussed 4 primary cases, and from this based on this primary conditions we can think about mixed conditions. Out of that 3 conditions are very important, so we will discuss those 3 conditions in the next session.